What is going on, guys, and welcome to CSS tutorial. In this video I'm going to talk about a property called font size, and we already covered it a little bit as I was showing you examples. However, I want to show you a couple of ways how we can actually control the font size and what are the benefits. Now, the first thing that I want to show you is that let's say that I'm going to create a 3 paragraphs over here, and it's going to say hello world. And obviously, if we wanted to, it's very basic that we can just go ahead over here, create a quick edit, a new rule, and we can say just font size, and we would say, I don't know, like font size, what, I don't know, 24 pixels or something like that. So we write 24 pixels, and we can see that how right away they change. However, there's a couple of more ways how we can do it, and one was with the percentage, and the other one is with EM. And what does it mean? So let's say over here that I'll show you what is a way how we can actually work with both of them. So let's say I'm just going to change around a little bit over here, and I'm going to say hello world, and I'm going to say I am always 24 pixels. And over here I'm going to write hello world. I am, let's say, I'm going to say what, 150%, because that's going to be another way. And hello world, I am always 200%, something like that. And here I have to write I am always. And you'll see what I'm doing in just a second. I'm always 150, I'm always 200%. Now here's the deal. Over here I'm going to create a ID, and I'm just going to say that the name of it is going to be 1. Okay. And here I'm going to create another attribute, an ID, and I'm going to say that this is 2. And the third one, I'm going to create a ID, and I'm just going to say 3. So now I need to go back over here, and I just want to delete this. Just get rid of it. And I just want to go over here, and now I can see that I would need to go over here and change it to quick edit. Now I'm actually affecting the ID, and I would say font size over here, and I would say that I would want it 24 pixels, right? And over here I'm just going to save this, and over here again I would do the quick edit and new rule, but this case I'm just going to save it as 100%, 150%. And what is the point of percentages? Well, here's the deal. By default, all the font sizes are going to be 16 pixels. That's going to be for all the same as, it's not like it's 0. You can see that there is a font size already, and it is 16 pixels. So if I'm picking, let's say that I want a 150%, that means that I'm actually getting, this is also 24 pixels, the same as this one. Because you can see that it's not 100%. 100% would be 16 pixels, but if I'm doing 150 pixels, it's actually 24, because it's 50% of the 16 would be 8, and 8 plus 16 is 24. So actually they're both equal, right? So these are 150, and I'm just going to save this over here. And the third one, I'm just going to make that this is always going to be font size, and this is going to be 200%. So this is going to be 32 pixels actually. This one is actually 200 pixels. 32 pixels. Okay, so you can see that it's already bigger. Now, why this is important? Because over here, when the body is, you can see the body element, and I can actually style the actual font size for the whole body, right? And if, let's say, I change it over here, let's say the font size right now is going to be, I have it 100%, right? So this would be the case that the default is 16 pixels, and this is the font size would be 100%. So if I write it here, this is default, right? However, if I change it over here, if I write over here 150, you can see what's happening. These ones are automatically actually scaling as they are designed to. So let's say if I save that this is going to be 150, as I'm changing the fonts for my body, for a body element, it's actually, they are changing along because they're actually based on percentages. The thing is, with these pixels, you can see that they stay the same. Now, why that would be a problem? Because let's say, well, again, I'm opening something wrong. So let's say that if I would want to change it here in the body, you can see that nothing is happening. I changed the whole fonts. However, in this case, I would need to go one by one if I would have multiple of these attributes and actually find them and change them manually like this, right? So let's go over here and let's quick edit. And then we would have to change the font size, because the fact that I changed my whole fonts on my whole document actually doesn't help, because it doesn't affect pixels. So you can use pixels, it's fine. However, there is this shortcoming over here. Now also let me show you one more thing, that let's say over here, again, these two are the same, right? You can see that number 1 ID and number 2 are the same. However, we can also do something called EMs. And what EMs basically means that EM is the width of an M letter, right? So over here, if I write something called like EM over here, so you can see what is the size, right? Now, why EMs are also preferred, the same as percentages. See, what sometimes can, let's say somebody who's whatever scrolling the web, or even you can do that, you can actually go over here in your tools, and you have over here settings. And if you go over here to show advanced settings, so what's happening, you can find over here the font size, right? So now right now I have on medium. However, I can pick it very small, or very large. See, that's where the problem is, that once I click it here very large and I'm visiting, let's say, well, in this case, my own website, but let's say it would be your website, right? So you can see again what happens. I picked that I want my fonts to be this, I want them to be bigger. However, you can see that this hello world, I'm always 24 pixels. He hasn't changed. This 150 went accordingly. This EM even changed accordingly, right? However, this pixels stay the same. So the idea would be that we are actually always writing over here, that we write what would be the font size, and we go with, let's say we can always go with like 100%, so we know always what we want. However, when we're actually styling something over here, let's say paragraphs, or whether that would be some type of headings or anything, it's actually would be much smarter to actually stick with percentages, or if you don't like the percentages, you can choose the EMs. However, what's going to happen, they will going to be responsively actually changing to whatever the user is changing, or here to with his own tools. Or whenever you decide yourself that you say, listen, you know what, I just want to make my whole document look better and I want to change the font size. So if you have pixels, you unfortunately going to have to go one by one and change it. But if you have done it actually with percentages, it's going to change automatically as you change these properties over here. This is going to be it for this video, guys. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next video.